Heracles Porsche here, also known as Gildenlock. Welcome to our second episode of 420 Club Replays. A little bit of delay here at the start as both players size each other up, trying to wait out and see who makes the play first.
Any tank going in.
Venom Snake really holding back, but finally committing to a tank. Hey, how's it going, viewer? Your anything you type is going to be coming out as a sexy robot lady voice, so you might as well just hang back, enjoy the show. And we see Venom Snake has finally committed a Minesweeper. How is this Minesweeper going to be answered? A light tank, probably not going to get there in time. But interestingly enough, the Minesweeper is oddly caught in the middle there, but he's putting some damage on base. Base gets fortified. Still a very respectable amount of damage on base. A half health light tank followed by a sniper. And is that going to serve as a great distraction for the attack on top? It is. And the track mine comes in with a devastating blow to the infantry group there. Very good damage put on by sniper kill mode. Venom Snake's upper base. And a little tiny dollop of damage put on by the flamethrower unit, sending in the light tank on the upper base, countering very interestingly with the Minesweeper, although definitely be understood the combination of the Minesweeper and the machine gun unit. This Minesweeper is going to be heavily distracted by this midfield machine gun nest. Just a little bit of fortification absorbs the damage of 2 attacks. And paratroopers bypassing that machine gun nest. And this track mine will only take out half of those paratroopers. More respectable damage on sniper kill mode's bottom base. Sniper kill mode's already getting out there with a light tank. Venom Snake continuing to hold back, potentially wasting points there. The machine gun nest in the way and blocking that all the damage off that top jeep coming in. Both players capped out. Venom Snake just staying capped out for far too long as he waits to see which play sniper kill mode he wants to counter. Coming down to sudden death. Another on. And we have an excellent play with the track mine, but it's still not enough to quite break through that gun turret. And sniper clears it out, but he's countered very quickly. Looks like these double tanks at the bottom are clearing out these commandos quite quickly. But they're going to have to bust through a machine gun nest. Can they do it? Can they do it? And through the smoke comes another gun turret, but the top base of Venom Snake has got a lot of pressure. Interesting counter. And Venom Snake's top base falls all the way to 26 hit points. But he's putting pressure. That Minesweeper going to be heavily distracted with all of those machine gun nests and sniper kill mode, finally finishing off that base with some rockets. A 420 Club versus 420 Club, our initial play of the day, just the way I like to see it. Let's continue to look at more footage from the 420 Club Alliance. This next battle, some very high ranking competitors in this one. We've got Scotty Boy Leeds from Battle Alliance, it's the main unit, with a whopping 2,866 ranking versus Jim Vicious Jones at a respectable but significantly less 2,575 ranking. Battle Alliance here staying capped out on points remarkably long. This finally deploying commando. Not seeing any counters here from Jim Vicious Zones. And he gets the dogs out at the last second, and the infantry.
Take him out. Those tanks won't know what hit them.
Not a substantial amount of damage on Bishop Jones' top base, but respectable. That those rockets doing good collateral damage overall. And of course, Scotty Boy Leeds has had a lot of time to anticipate the arrival of light tanks coming off the bottom row. Hence the obvious deployment of this gun turret, but it's finished off. How is he going to answer this? Well, that sniper is taken out by the flamethrower unit, but this stack of light tanks is getting big. But so is the counter stack of infantry. How is this going to play out? I wouldn't wager on... Oh, and it's interesting turnaround. But still, that light tank taking a lot of damage from those multiple units, even if they were low health. And this heavy tank looks like a lot of room here to counter this heavy tank. But there's not much in the way of this heavy tank now with the infantry cleared out. Those dogs are not going to do very much. And we've got a light sniper from Scotty Boy Leeds in the back. It's exactly the same as a regular sniper. And Jim Bishop Jones replies with a sniper of his own. He's got to keep that low health top base intact somehow. But a giant stack from the bottom arrives as a large threat. A great anticipation. And Scotty Boy Leeds' bottom base is shut down. Jim Bishop Jones almost certainly to go into defensive mode. A very interesting defense here. And quickly maxing out all his capacities, but will he be able to fend off? Yes, he did clear out that medium tank just in time, initially getting out that, and sudden death comes down. Jim Bishop Jones is up a base, and that is the end of that game. Our next battle is Flava and I know I say every name in the most pristine fashion. Obviously, we're working with slightly humbler ranked players here, but hey, we are going to enjoy this. Both players capping out, and Philo Flava's first play, a light tank factory. Let's see how this light tank rolls along and how he answers it. Oh, very surprising move by Kane Kinnett. I'm sticking to it. Not answering the light tank initially, but now pursuing on both rolls. Very surprising move. Again by Kane Kinnett. Obviously, Philo Flava's installations optimally set up to answer those threats. But it looks like Kane's, we're just going to call him Kane's Minesweeper, deployed quite well to actually roll over all of those infantry units. And I don't see how Kane's going to answer this Jeep. It's going to devastate that top base. Maybe even taking it out. And we have Kane on the ropes. Philo substantially ahead, getting his first base down, and there's still a minute left in this match before the sudden death hits. So I think we can safely call how this match is going to go at this point. This tank's not going to last long against that gun turret. And Philo Flava just rubbing it in. What a guy. And giant infantry stack on the top. Kane again answering with the Minesweeper, rolling over the infantry, but it's too late. He has lost his second base. And interesting double play of the gun turrets. And Kane coming out on top on that exchange there, but he's down 2 bases, so there's not a whole lot of comeback room in a game this massively outmatched, but his infantry stack doing a respectable job, but not really putting damage on that base. Again, continuing to do respectable damage, and really quite a good amount of damage towards the end of this match from Kane, but it's not quite enough for a comeback. Again, as expected, 420 member scores a win. Our next match is Steffi63 versus Big Blunt. You know Big Blunt, he made quite an appearance in our last 420 replays video. And Steffi is a level 10, so almost certainly going to be have quite a bit of resources. Although Big Blunt himself is a level 9, so not massively outmatched on the level and ranking front. Let's take a look at these units as they roll out. Both players tapping out before they make their first move. And Steffi63 is starting. Interesting answer by Big Blunt. These two units are going to roll right past each other, but the light tank is now going to start putting damage on that minesweeper. But that minesweeper has a lot of time to put damage. And a tank destroyer officer combo is clearly going to make short work of that heavy tank, but Big Blunt's units rolling in from behind make quick work of those counter units. Steffi getting this light tank out a little too late to preserve it.
High blood.
Welcome to the broadcast. We are doing 420 Club replays. Feel free to sit back and soak in the magic of the replays of the 420 Club. And that lone officer is not going to last long against a group like that. Big Blunt's officer of his own, Big Steffi63, has lost a base. Big Blunt continuing to push Steffi63's boat. A flamethrower making the use for some light damage. Is Big Blunt going to anticipate this commando grouping? I don't see any sign. And the attack starts. And the players are evenly matched. How is Steffi63 going to answer this minesweeper threat to his boat? Clearly not with enough force. Big Blunt setting up a giant stack of his own to quickly clear out the units. Steffi63 puts out one at a time. And Steffi63 is under a whole bunch of pressure here. I don't think that boat's going to last very long under that kind of assault. And that is the end of the match between Steffi63 and Big Blunt. Let's move on to the next replay. We are going to be back again. We're going to see another game with Philo Flava in it. We're just going to call him Philo for short. He's going to be up against Psycho 1 Deluxe. We'll call him Psycho for short. And we did see another match previously by Philo, but this is his share. Let's see how this match rolls. A quick stack here, quickly answered with infantry. It's nice to see a match where units are deployed immediately for a change. And that infantry is going to be cleared out quickly by rockets. Is Philo going to have an answer for these commandos? He is, but those commandos take out Philo's machine gunners on the way to the base, doing some decent damage there. And the heavy tank is rolling out. Philo's answer is a gun turret, but he doesn't have a whole lot to deal with that. Now, how is the infantry going to deal with this? Very large infantry group did put substantial damage on that tank, even though they don't have armor piercing. Just enough guns can do work just about anywhere. They were cleared out by Psycho's rockets with respectable time, but still not before the combination of the gun turret and the infantry. Now we have... Psycho might be in trouble here. He's created an answer to a threat that doesn't exist, and now Philo's got a light tank rolling on the bottom. Psycho's answered with another infantry grouping, and Philo's pulled an interesting maneuver where he has a... Actually, this wasn't Philo's maneuver. This was a machine gun nest placed in order to distract that howitzer unit. But Philo, of course, had an answer with another rockets he had in reserve and another light tank rolling out of that factory. How is this going to be answered? Now, that officer Jeep guaranteed to put some damage, respectable damage, before that bazooka unit could finally take it out. A Jeep far in the back placed by Psycho. He obviously wants to set up some kind of stack or distraction here. And surprisingly, he's decided to place a bunch of emplacements in a spot that's very vulnerable. Obviously, they're taking hits from the howitzer. Philo's already got a lot to answer that heavy tank with. He's got a gun turret and a light turret bearing down on it. But it looks like Philo will get a little bit of damage on this bottom base. And is he going to anticipate those commandos? It's very unlikely. Psycho's commandos a little split between what's in front and what's in behind. And Philo's howitzers answering the threats. Sudden death arrives now. And Philo not shy about continuing to stack those emplacements. There's a gun turret to answer that heavy tank in the top row as the light tank keeps rolling through. How is this officer Jeep light tank going to stack up together? Not well. That officer gets cleared out. And a little bit of a sandwich here in the bottom row. How is this going to play out? It looks like Psycho's going to lose that bottom base. No, he's coming up with quick answers. Psycho's bottom base drops to 100. I'd be surprised if this didn't come down to direct damage, although a Jeep could potentially come in there and finish that off. He is going for the Jeep officer, and a big sandwich stack here. That Jeep does in fact clear out Psycho's bottom base. Alright, and we have new share after new share. This next one, sniper kill mode. Another share from, oh, wait. Okay, never mind. Just, let's just keep rolling through this before I make a fool of myself. We're going to be sniper kill mode against Danny 07613. We'll call him Danny for short. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are something. It looks like both players waiting for their point cap before deciding which play to make. A little before the point cap, Danny boy puts out that light tank. It's definitely not going to make it to that base with a mine in the way. That minesweeper might have been handy in the bottom row. Let's see how it plays out in the top. Answered with a snipe unit and distracted with a machine gun nest. There's no way it's going to make it to that base to do any substantial damage. It's cleared out.
MG searching for targets.
Danny going for a long-term play. That communications tower in the top left corner. That mortar clearing out that sniper threat. And again, Danny's light tanks continue to be countered with anti-tank mines. And let's see what Danny's answer to this sniper unit is. Because he doesn't have any quick plays. And in fact, it's the minesweeper Sniper's already got a light tank rolling out to counter that, and plenty of distraction in the forms of. I'm not sure that Minesweeper knew what to do with the machine gun nest rammed up its behind, but a decent answer here to the light tank with these machine gun units. Those dogs in the bottom row not doing very much, and I don't anticipate this machine gun nest is going to last too long, but I don't think that Minesweeper is going to put too much damage on base either. Gain another awkward destruction. Let's see how this light tank gets answered. It's more machine gunners, but there's a lot for those machine gunners to deal with. Surprisingly enough, the track mine gets taken out, but there are dogs. There are dogs serving as a short-term distraction. That machine gunner unit putting some good damage on that base before that Minesweeper rolls out. Danny with 2 comm towers in the back, and Sniper Kill answering one of them with some bombard units, so it's not sitting back there collecting too many points. But that's still quite a few points in the back that Danny Boy's collecting. Just awkward, just continuous awkward attacks with the Minesweeper. Yet more Minesweepers. I can't see this. I can't picture these Minesweepers putting too much damage on. Although this is one of the ones with the higher health. And we are in sudden death with Danny at substantially lower base health than Sniper Kill mode. He can't afford to lose either of those bases, or that's the match for him. Danny still very fixated on this top row, despite Sniper Kill modes. Sniper's got quite a big stack here. He's got snipers galore, light tanks, and that base does not last long. And that is a victory for Sniper Kill mode. Let's continue with the replays. Our next match is Chivalric, no short form for that, versus Grambalor. I have literally no idea what Grambalor has to offer here. Let's take a look. And Grambalor with interesting mixed starting lineup. Chivalric here with some very high cost units. Part of his mix. Both players hesitating as they wait on the other player to decide their own counter. And it's just, I think I'm going to speed this one up, folks. Double speed, quad speed. Finally, Chivalric only committing a defensive unit. Both players remaining hesitating. Finally, Chivalric getting impatient, not wanting to stay capped out. He commits a heavy tank to the field. Let's see how much damage Grambalor can put at that heavy tank, putting a couple good shots on base. But now Grambalor's Minesweeper is running through the bottom. It's only a level 1, but it does not have much of an answer. And neither does this tank destroyer. Damage is just put on far too fast. Chivalric has no answer for it. A Jeep being put out in the cleared out space by Grambalor. Chivalric losing that middle deployed, and the Chivalric's trap was sprung, and it did result in a crossover to Grambalor's side and some substantial base damage. I can't picture any of these units lasting long. And that heavy tank with only a light tank so far, Very interesting move. Let's see how a Minesweeper pushed up against a heavy tank does. And that Minesweeper, of course, not intentionally targeting that heavy tank. It just had nowhere to go. And a big stack from Granvalor is a significant threat to Chivalric's only base. We have just over 10 seconds until sudden death, and Chivalric is not coming back from being down 2 bases over Granvalor. And that marks the end of that battle. Let's move on to the final replay. This is Venom Snake 82 against Andreas FL 68. I'm going to call him Andrea for short. An interesting mix here from Venom Snake with parachute units, Minesweepers. He starts out with that parachute unit. Andrea starts with a heavy tank way in the back. He's obviously interested in setting up some kind of stack, but I don't see what he's going to do.
Show me the mines. Any tank going in.
And we have a heavy tank followed by a tank destroyer. That gun turret going to have a lot of time to put damage on these tanks. But it's cleared out. It didn't have enough health to survive. And the tank destroyer very vulnerable to many units. One of which is the commandos. These commandos won't last long after taking some rockets to the face. And Venom making the very confusing move.
My voice is creepy.
Your voice is creepy. Maybe you're stoned. That's the sort of thing that would happen on April 20th, otherwise known as 420. How are these commandos going to be answered? Venom Snake making a great anticipation of these commandos and, of course, rolling them over them with this Minesweeper that single-mindedly pursues the opposing base. No answers yet from Andreas, and he finally gets a gun turret out. Andrea has no answer. A far too late and deeply inefficient use of the rockets from Andrea.
Oh shit, right, 420.
Oh shit, right, 420 indeed. Random visitor to my channel. And this heavy tank from Andrea's bottom section has already been answered robustly by a gun turret and a machine gun unit. It's obviously going to get cleared out well before it poses a threat to Venom Snake's base. And Venom Snake is doing a great job managing both sides of the map with a quick answer to machine gun slash tank stack in the top. These commandos already dealing with a lot of distractions in the form of
Happy 420.
Happy 420 to you too, stoner robot lady person. Now, is this heavy tank going to clear that last base out before sudden death? That's very unlikely, folks. And that was our last of the 420 Club replays, done on no day other than 420 itself. I hope you enjoyed that, folks. And that is it for our broadcast of 420 Club replays. Remember, I welcome all of your feedback, everybody. And until next time, I shall see you Starside.